In the fall of 1987, Riverside Plaza Mall was packed with over 3,000 shoppers on what seemed like an ordinary Saturday evening. By Sunday morning, every door was locked, every employee was gone, and nobody has been inside for 37 years. What you're about to see has never been documented before. Exclusive footage from inside a mall that closed overnight without explanation. And what was discovered inside defies logical explanation. Behind this overgrown facade is Riverside Plaza Mall, a massive 400,000 square foot shopping center that mysteriously closed overnight in November 1987. Now, malls close all the time, but this was different. This mall wasn't struggling. According to news reports from the time, it was actually thriving. Revenue was strong, foot traffic was high. And then, without any warning, without any announcement, without even letting employees collect their final paychecks, it just stopped. Let's go back to the beginning. Riverside Plaza opened in 1972 at the height of the American mall boom. It had everything: a massive Sears anchor store, JCPenney, a sprawling food court, and an arcade that became legendary in the community. By the mid-1980s, this place was the destination. Thousands of people came through here every weekend. Local teenagers spent Friday nights at the arcade. Families did their Christmas shopping here. This was the beating heart of the community. So what happened on November 14th, 1987? That's the mystery we're about to unravel. Exclusive interviews with former employees reveal a disturbing pattern. Margaret Chen worked at the Walden Books inside the mall in 1987. Her testimony is chilling. Quote, "Around 7 p.m., the mall manager came by every store, very quickly, very quietly. He said, 'Close up early tonight. Don't ask questions.' That was it." End quote. Close up early, don't ask questions, no explanation given. Workers thought maybe there was a bomb threat. But Monday morning, the doors were chained. Employees never received their final paychecks. Personal belongings remained locked inside lockers. Everything just ended. A former security guard who showed up for his Sunday shift reported something even stranger. Quote, "There were guys in suits standing outside. They wouldn't tell us anything, just said the mall was indefinitely closed and we should go home." End quote. Men in suits, new chains, new locks, and absolute silence about why. After months of negotiations with the property management company, exclusive access was finally granted. What cameras captured inside defies belief. A perfect time capsule frozen in 1987. The main entrance. These chains are original from 1987. Behind them, 37 years of undisturbed history. Everything is still here. Grand opening sale posters from the 1980s still hang on the walls. Trash cans still contain garbage from that final day. It's as if everyone simply vanished mid-step. The air is thick with decay, but remarkably, the structure itself remains largely intact, preserved by decades of complete isolation from the outside world. According to archived mall directories, the food court was the social hub, where teenagers gathered, where families ate together. Let's see what remains. Unbelievable. The entire food court is intact. An orange Julius stand, cups still stacked behind the counter, The menu board displays prices frozen in time. A small orange drink for $1.25. The pizza counter still has pans sitting out. After 37 years, you can still see the outline of where the last pizza sat. Tables are positioned exactly as they were that final evening. Some still have trays on them, napkin dispensers, salt and pepper shakers, every detail preserved. Imagine the conversations that happened here, the first dates, the family dinners, the teenage gossip, all of it silenced in an instant. Everyone told to leave, nobody told why. The retail corridor stretches for over a quarter mile. Dozens of stores line both sides, and every single one was abandoned with merchandise still inside. A women's clothing boutique, mannequins still wearing 1987 fashion, bold shoulder pads, bright colors, patterns that defined the decade. A jewelry store with empty display cases. The merchandise was presumably removed for security, but the fixtures remain. A bookstore, shelves still lined with paperbacks. A toy store with empty shelves where action figures once stood. And a record store with vintage posters of Madonna, Michael Jackson, and Prince still decorating the walls. The crown jewel of any 1980s mall was its anchor department store. At Riverside Plaza, that was Sears, a retail giant that once dominated American shopping. The store occupied nearly a quarter of the entire mall's footprint. The scale is staggering. Over 100,000 square feet of retail space. And incredibly, merchandise still hangs on the racks. Clothing racks filled with 1987 fashion, the styles that defined the decade. Price tags still attached. $24.99 for a sweater, $15 for a pair of jeans. These prices seem impossible by today's standards. The mannequins remain positioned throughout the store, frozen models wearing outfits that haven't been in style for nearly 4 decades. Their blank faces now covered in dust, staring into an empty store that once bustled with shoppers. The tools department, the home goods section, kitchen appliances, luggage, every department exactly as it was left. But nothing compares to what remains in the electronics department, a time capsule of 1980s technology. Cathode ray tube televisions, VCRs in unopened boxes, boom boxes with dual cassette decks, portable CD players, a cutting-edge technology in 1987, corded telephones, answering machines, technology that defined the era, now obsolete and abandoned. Some boxes remain sealed, never opened, never sold. Products that were supposed to be the future, now relics of a bygone age. A VCR priced at $299 that would be worthless today. A Walkman for $79 that's now a collector's item worth more than its original price. The critical question remains. When any store closes, even suddenly, inventory is liquidated. Everything is sold off. But here, thousands of dollars worth of merchandise simply left behind. As if the value of these goods was insignificant compared to something else, something that required an immediate shutdown. What could be more important than the inventory? What could warrant abandoning this much merchandise? The answer lies deeper in the mall. According to every former patron interviewed, one location defined this mall above all others: Spaceport Arcade. The crown jewel, the reason teenagers begged their parents to bring them here every weekend. What remains inside is extraordinary. Dozens of original arcade cabinets from the golden age of gaming: Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaga, Centipede, Defender, Asteroids, every major title from the early 1980s standing silent in the darkness. Without power, these machines are nothing but decorated boxes, but the artwork remains largely intact. Hands-painted side panels featuring the iconic characters and scenes that captivated millions. Some cabinets show water damage. Others look as if they could be plugged in and played today. The change machine still contains quarters, coins dated 1986 and 1987. The last money spent in this arcade, frozen in time. Consider the scene. It's Saturday evening, November 14th, 1987. This arcade is packed with kids and teenagers. The sounds of digital beeps and blips fill the air. High scorers are being chased. Quarters are being pumped into machines. Laughter and competition echo through the space. Then, around 7 p.m., the manager walks through. "We're closing early. Everyone needs to leave." No explanation, no warning, just leave. The kids probably complained. They had just put quarters in. They were on a high score run. But they left. And this space has been silent ever since. 37 years of perfect stillness where chaos once reigned. Some of those teenagers are now in their 50s. They probably still remember the high scores they were chasing, the games they were playing, the moment they were forced to leave, none of them knowing they would never return, none of them understanding why. The mall's administrative offices occupied the second floor, overlooking the main concourse. If answers exist anywhere, they exist here. The management wing. Nameplates still identify each office. Robert Martinez, General Manager; Susan Chen, Operations Director; David Thompson, Security Chief, all names from a different era. Inside the General Manager's office, time stopped mid-workday. Papers scattered across the desk. Purchase orders, employee schedules, financial reports, a calendar frozen on November 1987. Everything abandoned in the middle of a normal business day. One document stands out. A memo dated November 13th, 1987, the day before the closure. It reads, "Mandatory meeting for all management staff, 6 a.m., November 14th. Attendance required. Top priority." A mandatory 6 a.m. meeting the morning of the closure? Someone knew this was coming. This wasn't sudden for everyone. Management was told in advance. The filing cabinets contain financial records, lease agreements, employee files, standard documentation for any shopping mall. But one folder is different, marked confidential. Property transfer documents. The content is revealing. Quote, "The property known as Riverside Plaza Mall is hereby transferred from Riverside Development Corporation to..." The buyer's name is completely redacted, blacked out, classified. Transaction date, November 15th, 1987, one day after the closure. The document continues, "All existing tenants and contracts are hereby nullified." End quote. The mall was sold to an undisclosed buyer immediately after closure. All tenant contracts terminated, no notice period, No negotiation, just immediate transfer of ownership to a buyer whose identity remains classified nearly 4 decades later. The employee-only areas reveal the human cost of this sudden closure. Break rooms frozen mid-shift, a coffee pot still on the counter, magazines from 1987 on tables, a jacket hanging on a chair. Someone expected to return for that jacket. They never did. Employee lockers, some locked, preserving their contents, some open, revealing personal belongings left behind. Work uniforms, personal bags, wallets. These were people's lives. They came to work expecting a normal shift. They left without even collecting their possessions. This security office contains the most telling evidence yet, a logbook documenting everything that happened on that final day. The last entry, dated November 14th, 1987, 7:23 p.m. Quote, "Received order from management to begin evacuation procedures. All staff and customers to be escorted out by 8 p.m. Reason not provided. Multiple agencies on site." End quote. Multiple agencies. Not mall security, not local police. Agencies, plural, unnamed. On site during the evacuation. And then the logbook simply stops. No more entries. Ever. One area remains unexplored. The lowest level, where the mall's utilities and maintenance systems are housed, where pipes and electrical systems run beneath the shopping floors, and where the truth has been buried for 37 years. The condition here is worse. Decades of water leaks from broken pipes, mold growth, structural deterioration. But the layout is standard for a shopping mall. Mechanical rooms, storage, HVAC systems. Until you reach the far corner. This store is different. The markings are not standard mall signage. Authorized personnel only, federal clearance required. Federal, not mall management, not building maintenance. Federal government clearance in a shopping mall. The door is unlocked. What lies behind it explains everything. This is not a maintenance room. This is not mall infrastructure. These are federal filing cabinets marked with federal agency seals, computer equipment from the early 1980s bearing government property tags, communications equipment, all bearing the stamp Department of Defense, classified. Riverside Plaza Mall wasn't just a shopping center. It was cover, a front operation for classified government activity. And when that operation needed to be shut down, they closed everything immediately. No questions, no explanations, no loose ends. Let's connect the evidence. In the 1980s, during the height of the Cold War, the United States government regularly used civilian infrastructure for classified operations. This is documented historical fact. Shopping malls, office buildings, even restaurants served as cover for intelligence activities. The evidence at Riverside Plaza Mall tells a clear story. Federal equipment in the basement, Department of Defense stamps on filing cabinets, security logs mentioning multiple agencies, a mandatory management meeting at 6 a.m. the day of closure, an immediate property transfer to a redacted buyer, an evacuation conducted by unnamed agencies. November 14, 1987. Something happened that required immediate shutdown of the operation hidden beneath the mall. Perhaps the operation concluded. Perhaps it was compromised. perhaps the risk of exposure became too great. Whatever the reason, the decision was made to terminate everything immediately. At 6 a.m., mall management was informed, given orders. By 7 p.m., every store was told to close early. Don't ask questions. By 8 p.m., every person was evacuated. By the next morning, the property had changed hands. New chains, new locks, complete shutdown. The mall's inventory, worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, was simply abandoned because compared to the classified operation beneath the shopping floors, the merchandise was worthless. Loose ends couldn't exist. Workers couldn't retrieve belongings. Tenants couldn't liquidate inventory. Everything had to stop, immediately, permanently. Today, Riverside Plaza Mall remains exactly as it was left in 1987. The property management company that granted access to film this investigation declined to comment on the basement discovery. Requests for information about the property's ownership history were denied. Freedom of Information Act requests filed with federal agencies regarding activities at this location have returned no results. The identity of the buyer who purchased the property in November 1987 remains redacted in all public documents. The mall is scheduled for demolition in the coming months. The entire structure will be razed. The basement where federal equipment was found will be filled with concrete. Whatever evidence remains will be permanently buried. Thousands of people shopped here, worked here, built memories here, never knowing what existed beneath their feet. A Cold War secret hiding in plain sight, disguised as an ordinary American mall. Riverside Plaza Mall. Opened 1972, closed November 14, 1987. Officially, the reason was economic restructuring. Unofficially, the truth remains classified. Some mysteries are never meant to be solved. Some doors are meant to stay closed. Some questions are better left unasked. But now you know, and you can't unknow it. The Cold War ended decades ago, but its secrets are still buried all around us, hidden in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. If you found this investigation compelling, leave your theories in the comments. What do you think was really happening in that basement? And what other seemingly ordinary places might be hiding classified histories? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more solved and unsolved mysteries we will be uncovering together.